How would you describe the difference between how Osney operate and how other companies operate?
That's an interesting one. Osney are very supportive. I certainly know that Guy's previous experience with me at an event was with a company who were very, very pushy, really didn't support us once we had made the commitment in any way whatsoever. We hardly heard from them from making the commitment to the actual day. Whereas Osney are fully supportive the whole way through, to the extent of making sure we understand what's happening, making sure that the event serves us as well as it serves the delegates here.
And in terms of the actual sales conversation, so before buying, how did that process of going through that and getting to the decision feel compared with maybe Guy's experience of other companies?
Well, Guy's experience and my experience of other companies has been to be pushed into making the decision very quickly without having the ability to keep coming back to the company and finding out, does this actually work with us? Whereas Osney are not like that at all. Osney worked with us to make sure that the event was suitable for us. And I distinctly got the impression that if it wasn't, they would say so, this is not your event.
And in terms of the quality of the content, speakers, content and that, how have you found it?
Oh, the speakers have been superb. Some excellent quality of speakers and some really excellent delegates here as well. I've had some fantastic conversations with people.
Okay, and when you talk about the conversation, if you could maybe compare the type of conversation and the quality to how you might have at another event and how it's qualitatively different.
The atmosphere with Osney is packed but quite relaxed in terms of not set up as a sales approach. It's set up as making connections. So you're able to make sure that the connections that you're making, you have something to offer them, as opposed to feeling pushed into, you've got to get the most out of this, and so you've got to sell, sell, sell. I haven't sold at all this whole event.
And in terms of number of meetings, sort of promised number of meetings that have actually happened, can you remember what you were promised and what you've actually had?
Indeed, I was promised 8 and I've had 19.
Okay, and what's your expectation in terms of how many of those would go to follow-ups?
At least 3/4 of them will go to follow-ups.
Okay, and so if somebody was looking around, thinking of working with us, not sure, perhaps being burnt before, what would you say to that person? If somebody was thinking of maybe working with us, but they'd been burnt from other places, what would you say to that person?
I would say to them, have a conversation with Osney, have a conversation with Nick, because the only way you're going to feel comfortable is to make a personal connection. And that's certainly what made the difference with us, was making that personal connection and feeling looked after and valued as experts in our field.